Hello, and welcome back to Faithful to the Traitors.
Oh no!
I am Ben, and I am still acting faithful.
Acting faithful?
I mean, I'm still 100% a faithful.
Oh. Well, I'm Alex, and my great aunt on my father's side, twice removed, talked to me in between recordings and said, Alex, you are not a traitor. Which I'm pleased about, because that's the last thing I want to be.
Traitor.
Why did he keep saying it like that? Because he said it, MK said it normally when he was in conversation, but then as soon as he got to the banishment table
Or to camera.
or to producers, he kept saying
a traitor.
traitor.
I am not a traitor.
Oh, bless him. I feel so bad for MK.
Did you?
I did
Slagging
actually.
him off last episode.
Well,
so.
this is the thing, because we'll talk about the banishment table, I guess, a bit later. But like I feel like he got voted because they didn't like him, and so it had nothing to do with. And you know me,
Him being a traitor.
Traitor. No, it had nothing to do with him being a traitor. It just they just didn't like him.
I feel the same for Chloe. I feel like people, even though they're probably thinking, hopefully she'll get murdered tonight because
Chloe the clairvoyant.
she's just annoying.
She did put the dagger in her own back, and they even the traitor said it, like
Traitors.
Traitors.
We're saying it on this episode, traitors.
she really did, just like everything she did was just weird and cryptic. And she kept saying, like, when the lights flickered, she went, oh, there you go, I just said it's true, the spirits just told us. And everyone just rolled their eyes. Like if rolling your eyes made a noise, it would have been so loud in that room when she kept saying about her spirits and something other.
I mean, before we get too carried away with Chloe, we have to remember the murdered, which is always forgotten.
Well, Chloe was up for being murdered, but she got away with it.
She did.
But the spirits told her that as well.
Yeah.
As we said, she
was visited again, wasn't she?
She was, but
not by the
Traitors.
Said in episode 1 she was visited by someone. I can't remember who she said now, but it was so ridiculous.
Which
it was like episode, Shakespeare or something.
No, I think you're mixing up.
No, I know, but it was she said someone in the first episode that she visited
remember.
her, and then this episode it was her family member,
her uncle, her great uncle.
That was it.
Came to her. her great uncle came to her.
Talk about railing.
No, said rails. That was it.
Oh, right.
Because the great Roger Corser came into the room at the breakfast table and said, right, the next challenge, you're going to be going off the rails. That's a clue, by the way. I'll see you in a minute. And Chloe was like, my great uncle told me. He said rails. And the whole room were like, oh, God's sake, Chloe.
I think we know what Roger's thing is. Obviously, Alan Cummings was... Alan Cummings was like this theatrical character, and Claudia, had her fringe and her jumper. I think Roger's thing is sharp suits. There's a different suit for every occasion. Yeah.
He is, as I mentioned in the first episode, he is the Jack Branning of the Australian acting world.
Yes.
He likes his turtlenecks, and I felt sorry for Roger this episode, because he, as we know, his breathing is very hard. He needs that blue inhaler, brown for special occasions. And then the producers were like, right, for this shot, Roger, we want you to walk through steam from a coal-powered train engine. I thought, of all the people they could have asked to do that, poor Roger Corser had to breathe in that steam, that piltred. That
and he had to stand
air.
in the engine room at the front the whole time,
with his
half
timepiece in his hand, shouting time
30
people.
minutes to save me, otherwise I collapse.
That would be a challenge that I'd like to participate in.
Save Roger Corser.
Yeah, save Roger Corser in a room where the air is slowly escaping. His lungs are slowly.
Yeah, because there's another new challenge. I always love a new challenge. I'm here for them all. They're quite convoluted in this series.
They're very hard.
Tricky?
Well, I said to you, like in the second episode of the UK version, well, it's not just that. Like the challenges in the UK version were like, one of them was go onto a big wheel and ask questions about people. One of them was herding sheep. In the Australian version, it's like you have to do these really difficult challenges where it's not. They kept saying it was like a puzzle. which I thought was a misleading clue of how the game was played.
What about the guy who does escape rooms?
Well, that's what it was more.
Who said that last episode?
Wasn't it Midi?
Midi, yeah, he said he's brilliant at escape rooms. He didn't do much with his maths.
It must have been quite difficult for him because I couldn't have done maths on ad hoc like that. Like he did say, like, I'm good at maths, but I need a calculator. No, it's a calculator. And I did think to myself, quite a few of us is good at maths if we have a calculator.
I mean, this challenge was all or nothing, wasn't it? You either get to save
24,000 Australian dollars.
You either get to save Roger or you don't.
Yes,
basically,
and Roger died.
No money.
Despite Ethan pulling on that rod,
not much
hard.
time as well. They only had like
30 minutes.
Yeah,
30 minutes.
America series, they'd have 2 hours probably.
Well, they just give them the money. They was like, "Oh, you failed, but have it." Anyway.
Kate would just jump out the train with a glass of champagne,
throw coins out the train. He's like, "I don't care."
But no, half an hour, 4 challenges. It was very difficult.
Well, they kind of almost did it. It was literally.
Well, we know why they didn't, don't we?
Because
they
Roger
didn't listen to Roger's turtleneck was too tight around his neck.
Yeah, he couldn't breathe.
No, Chloe gave them good sound,
right.
evidence-based advice. And they didn't listen to her.
Chloe was like, "I saw it last night. I saw the order in which
someone has to turn the key."
Played this game. Yeah, who was it that she said should have turned the key?
God knows. Who knows?
I mean,
Matt. There you go. Throw that out there.
Okay,
she said
fine.
Matt.
I mean, all power to you if that's your thing. If you believe that in the middle of the night,
if you believe in con artists.
No.
Oh,
I'm trying to be politically correct here. Like, I'm trying to be diplomatic. If that's your thing, if you believe in that, great, fine, whatever. Good for you. As long as you don't throw money at someone to give you, let's just say, information they could probably dig out from you by just asking you a few telling questions, then yeah, that's great. Have fun. Enjoy
the presenter
yourself.
came in and said, "Off the rails." Last night, someone came to me and said it was be rails.
Yeah,
like, Chloe, you could have said that before he said that, and then I'd be impressed. Saying it after Roger says it, I'm not impressed.
In a parallel universe, there's another Chloe, and the challenge was, don't be sheepish. And she was like, my great uncle told me that I'd be sheep.
I went to bed counting sheep last night.
Yes, and I still didn't sleep.
No, but she was very upset because they didn't listen to her, and they all kind of just like rolled their eyes and were like, "Stop, please stop this."
But do you know the biggest condescension at the breakfast table that morning? That was Doug Willis visibly laughing out loud and making fun of our old mate MK. Doug Willis.
Sorry, Doug Willis?
Doug Willis is
Who's
Paul.
This? Paul.
Yeah, the most Australian man ever to be walk this earth.
MK made another little speech, didn't he?
He walked in and he said, "I'm not a traitor." and what cracked me up was, like, literally Mark said, "You know that by saying you're not a traitor makes us think that you probably are a traitor." And MK was like a bit dumbfounded by that revelation. He was like, "Oh, yeah, maybe that's a good point." And then Doug Willis said,
"Traitor."
And then Doug Willis was like, "All rise," and everyone was like, "Oh, nice one, Doug."
Bless him.
He got his tin of 4X and sat himself down next to the Barbie.
Yeah, Mark had his little VT about learning about him, didn't he? Although I didn't listen to what he said.
Mark is
VT.
in what could only be described as Kath and Kim language, a legal eagle. So that's I'm really being quite mean, aren't I?
Mark, he's 33.
Oh, here we go. We're going to get an analysis.
He admits that he is competitive and stubborn, which he believes will actually help him to get to the end of the game, regardless whether he's faithful or a traitor. Chloe knew that. I think the biggest obstacle in being a traitor is not being honest and not genuinely connecting with people. If you're a faithful, you can genuinely be with people. I'm quite an open book, so I think I would struggle with that. Oh dear, Mark, you're going to struggle then.
Well, Mark says he's stubborn, but he changed his POV. That's right, his point of view halfway through the banishment table, because he was gunning. Well, for the whole day. Let's also reward
Claire, wasn't he?
Let's reward the contestants that they actually went through a whole day of madness this time, and they weren't given a whole weekend to kind of pace it out. He was gunning for Claire from morning to evening, and then when they got to the banishment table, and he had a little word with Claire, and Claire said, Well, the reason I looked so white after we found out who the traitors
announced
were,
as a traitor.
Yeah, but you didn't know that, was because I was scared that there was going to be a murder tonight, and I thought, oh God, I really don't want to leave the game. She wasn't
expecting that from production.
She's a good little actress, isn't she, old Claire?
You can get away with that. Series 1, you can get away with lies like that because you don't know what's happening in the game, so it's okay. They all believed her.
Well, that's what I mean. Mark did, because Mark then switched and changed his vote to Chloe. So, but, you know, poor Chloe. Chloe was very much focused on, I would say episode 2 was a very Chloe the Clairvoyant heavy episode.
I just don't want to speak.
But yet she did, and she spoke a lot. And but the thing is, the things she was saying didn't really amount to anything.
Really?
So she kept saying she knew who the traitors were. She kept saying that she had suspicions that
she knew how to win the game.
Yeah, she said that she didn't want to share the information with her yoga group because the lights
she'd
flickered.
be wrong.
She'd be wrong. The lights flickered, and also she felt like that there were people in the yoga group that she thought were, this is what she shared with the producers, she didn't share this with anyone else.
Traitors.
Then when they got to the management table and everyone was saying, well, Chloe, you've been literally saying all day, I've got ideas, I know exactly who it is, and then they kind of put her forward to share her information, and then
I just don't want to speak.
Exactly, she didn't say anything.
No, you know why? I've got Chloe
because
worked out.
She's an idiot, that's why.
I've got it worked out.
Right.
The second, I can't remember who it was that said it to her. I think it was Olivia. She said, well, your predictions are all well and good, but what are you going to do if they are
come
wrong?
for you? Yes. No, you're right.
And then the second she said that, that's when she just didn't speak.
It was Teresa.
She knew,
I think it's Teresa. Was it?
Because Chloe knew. She was like, oh, yeah, I am going to be wrong because I don't actually know, and all of everything I'm saying is made up. So I'm just not going to speak.
But what if it isn't made? See, this is what I don't.
It is made up because she then she said that she did speak in the end.
But after the vote, again, so after the actual fact of something happening, rails, I heard rails, the vote, I think it's these people.
Yeah, she said 4 names, 2 of which annoyingly were correct, but
yes.
all 4 weren't correct.
But you said she is the Maddie of the Australian series, where Maddie kept saying, I know who the traitors are, and she just kind of threw names out, and eventually she actually landed on some.
Marielle. That's correct, and Angus correct.
Yes.
But then who were the other ones? She said Cash. Was it Cash one of them?
She said Teresa was one of them. And I can't remember who the 4th one she threw out was. I genuinely can't remember.
Teresa.
But
it was someone random, and it was like, no. And then she just got up and left.
Yeah, she was like, I don't want to be in this room anymore.
And what I love
poor
about
old Roger.
Well, I like that what he did because he just didn't give her the time of day. He
like,
didn't question her. Didn't ask her to come back. Didn't stop. He just said, right, so back to MK.
Didn't give her the attention that she wanted. She basically wanted it to be about her. This banishment of MKs, she basically wanted it to be about her.
Because Fee was like, well, are you leaving the game or just the table?
Yeah.
Didn't answer.
But again, she's kind of, and like I say, she's put the rod in her back now. She's rod. She's put the knife in her own back. She's basically, they're going to vote her next episode. It's not
might be dead. She might be dead. Who knows?
Well, she won't be dead because we know the 2 people that they want to murder.
Oh, yeah.
But the interesting thing is that now with Chloe's revelation of her ghosts telling her who the traitors are, and with Mark pretty much gunning for Claire, the only one who's still floating under the radar without anyone of the traitors is Nigel.
Yes, his name hasn't cropped up once.
Not
I don't
once.
think
He's playing a cracking game, and you have to also bear in mind that he's also the only one of everyone there. Because Chloe again quite openly said, it was a risky game, telling everyone I'm a clairvoyant, telling everyone I can speak to the dead, because that gives me an unfair advantage because I know the answers to everything, which of course it does because it's not
she's yet
bullshit
to get
at all.
Answer right, but...
yeah, but still, which she got to. But Nigel hasn't been open about who he is, his history, his past, his occupation, and he's continued to lie to them about him being a traitor. And he seems to be the one who is really playing the best game of them all. I mean, I think he could. If anyone's going to throw a traitor under the bus, Nigel's going to be the one who does it. I think if Nigel sees there's danger looming, he's going to be the one. There is danger
because they're all being called out at the moment.
Yeah, but it's not. There's so many of them still in it. There's still 20 in the game that it's still.
So you think Nigel is going to be the one who always votes a traitor to save
There's
themselves.
always the first one who
Normally
throws
that's to
someone under the
save
bus.
themselves, though. So maybe Angus might
That's
be.
a good point. But then I
Might
think
be
if
the
the
one.
suspicion gets too strong and he sees that a lot of people are going that way, I think Nigel would be quite quick to just vote them too. And I don't think he'd apologize. I don't think he'd even be sorry. I think he'd just be like, yeah, whatever, it's a game.
We learned a little bit more about Ethan this week. He may be murdered, so we need to discuss him.
We do. First of all,
27-year-old.
those
Ethan.
thighs. Sorry, yes. 27. Yes, carry on. Sorry.
Personal trainer.
I mean,
He all night he was doing sit-ups and pull-ups, and
he had.
they made fun of him.
They gave him a dumbbell.
Yeah.
He found.
Did
a
he bring
chair.
that with him in his luggage? Who knows?
I hope he didn't fly because he wouldn't be allowed to take it on the plane. It'd be too heavy.
But they made fun of him, and he said, "Well, that's all there is to do in the evenings." So,
Is
Ethan?
it all for him to do though? Because I suspect that there's a bit of a thing going on between Ethan and Fee.
Yes,
because
Fee who changes every other shot.
At the breakfast, at the breakfast
Different
table,
makeup, different hair, different outfits.
We'll have to talk about
4
the makeup
times
in a
an
minute.
episode.
I know it's a really silly thing to talk about.
Do you not think she looks like? This is really random, but she looks like Jessica Simpson's sister when she had a pop career.
I thought she looked like Hayley from Modern
Ashley
Family.
Simpson.
No,
She does. If you look up Ashley System for
Ashley's system,
Ashley Simpson
the
from,
AI representative of Ashley
from
Simpson.
when she had that one song when she got caught miming, she looks like her in that era. Very specific.
Yeah, it's a very specific time of her life.
But yeah, if you look it up, she does look like
Okay.
her. But she looks different every time, Fee. And I always get Fee confused with Kate. They are both the same person. They
Do you
both
think-
look the same.
Do you think the casting have deliberately found people who look there's like two
Well,
or
in
three
case people
who
talk
look
to each other.
Well, I don't know because like obviously last episode there was the discussion between the lookalikes of Claire and Olivia, and you know you keep mixing people up all the time.
Kate's a photographer and an actor. Of
Kate,
course.
where did Kate come from? We were
Dunno.
talking about Fee. I was
Yeah, I
talking
know.
about Fee's
Well, I'm
relationship
saying
with
that
Ethan,
Kate
and now
and
you.
Fee look the same, so
It's like you're trying to blindside
Who
me
knows?
to get Ethan for yourself.
yes, they like each other. They're friends.
Yes.
They're on the same team.
Do you like Kate?
Kate? No,
well,
Fee.
I know, but you changed the
I
subject
don't know
to Kate,
anything
so
about Kate.
I'm
I was
presumably
reading about her.
Well, just
Kate really needs people to be loyal,
Right. We all need people to be loyal, but in this
but
game, you
she's not
definitely
intending to be loyal to them.
do. Well, that's a bit of a double standard, Kate. How dare you?
Of course, her background in photography is going to give her an upper hand in this game.
How?
Nobody knows. It gives her an insight into people's behaviour. She hopes paranoia won't creep in and cloud her judgment.
Paranoia or the
Paranormal.
yeah, the paranormal. Maybe that's what Kate does. Maybe she does like spirit photographs. She takes photographs of empty rooms and finds the ghosts. That's what Chloe. That's what Chloe's worried about. It's Kate. It's Kate. Chloe shouts as she goes to the banishment table and then walks off with a glass of water. I'm going to pass
Chloe.
out. Do you think Chloe? How do you solve a problem like Chloe?
Kill her.
Yes, that's how you solve a problem like Chloe.
Kill her or traitor her. Banish her.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, when we are saying kill her, we're talking in the terms of the game, the traitors, as in murder, not
Well,
that we want to
again,
kill
of
her.
all the versions of the traitors, the Australian version is the most
Sinister.
the most cinematic,
Sexual.
yeah, the most sexually tensioned is the one that shows like a murder actually happening. So then there's the keyhole shots again today.
Ethan was doing his dumbbell things and he
Yeah.
was just sitting on a chair waiting to die.
Yeah. Just waiting to die.
I don't know what Fee was doing. Her makeup probably. Another look.
Yeah. She has
Slay.
to keep up. So, well, should we talk? So, okay, well, hang on. We're jumping ahead. The banishment.
The round table, yes.
The round. Well, it's called the banishment in the Australian version, so I'm just sticking to type. So 5 people got voted for this time: Chloe, MK, Olivia, Claire, and Teresa. Very random votes everywhere. Mark, as I said, kind of changed her vote from Claire to Chloe.
His vote, yeah.
Chloe got the second most votes with 2, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that considering that they were all gunning for MK in the first place, so it was kind of like a whitewash anyway.
And that was just a battle of who's more annoying, MK or Chloe, I feel. Not that they were traitors.
So do you think Chloe is being voted for?
Because she's annoying. And
She's
people don't
annoying.
Like her. Yes.
Again, it's a dislike thing. So
Because-
it's a popularity contest again.
Well, you can be so annoying in Traitors that actually you
Traitors.
reach... Traitors. You can be so annoying in Traitors that you reach that point where they're like, I know you're faithful, but I'd actually just It's the Kate effect from the US series. Mid.
Yeah, but she stayed into the final
I know.
and then won. For crying out loud.
Well, it's spoilers. People might be listening to this.
Oh, I'm sorry. But if you...
Kate didn't win.
Do you know what?
You're not even telling the truth, actually. You got it all wrong. But we won't know unless you watch it. So
exactly. Or listen to the podcast. Because we've done the British series and the American series, just in case you...
I'm crapping myself, to be perfectly honest with you.
Why, Ben? Tell me.
I just don't want to speak.
Well, it does make for a very interesting podcast, does it?
All I can think about is eating some bacon and eggs.
Oh, right. I'm glad you brought that up, actually.
Bacon and eggs.
Teresa's bacon and eggs. All she wanted was bacon and eggs that morning.
She was the first one in.
It's funny, I wrote
Going back to breakfast now, are we?
We're going back to breakfast, actually, very quickly also, because can we discuss Angus's Iron Man chest? Because underneath that shirt... Is it a clump of hair or is it a tattoo? That's a question, and I want you guys to get in touch with us at Traitors Podcast on Twitter or email us faithful to the traitors at gmail.com.
Let me look at his Instagram.
So as Ben's looking at his Instagram, I'm just going to say Angus was walking down the stairs, strolling on down, having a great time, peers his head round the door, does a little comical, oh, I'm back. Then he had his shirt open, and I said, is that a clump of hair or is it a tattoo? It's a question for the time, all time. Does Angus have a clump of hair tattoo?
I think it was a tattoo. I can't find
I think it was a tattoo, but
Instagram. I've just done a very bad Google search to try and find a quick answer. But there's
fine.
no pictures.
I'm sure the listeners can let us know.
I think it was a tattoo. I don't think it was hair. Oh, Angus. Let me just load him up. Oh, no, that's not Angus. That's a different Australian Angus.
Angus. I'm sure there's plenty of Australian Anguses. But
we'll have to find out. But yeah, he had his buttons all undone, didn't he?
Yeah. I just thought, because since you brought
that
up
was
the bacon
important
and eggs,
to bring up. That was.
Well, I felt like it was. I felt like it was a distraction. Just like you suddenly throwing cake facts at us.
Actually bringing up about the production of this series, which is slightly cheap budgeted with their plastic gold masks and stuff. The banishment room.
Well, that's why I said we have to talk about the makeup.
And the makeup.
No
I
fault.
thought you meant Fee's makeup, as in all her different makeup. No,
I'm
the
talking
makeup,
about
the
all
lighting, yes,
the
that
yellowish makeup, because obviously the lighting's not quite right.
Yeah, you can see their makeup applied on camera, and some of their like under eyes are red, and then the rest of their face is like yellow. And it looks very hot and sweaty in that room. And we know it's a very high tension room, but like the lighting,
but they've got
or
lighting,
something
fire.
Needs to be done there, because
Roger's
everyone
breathing. He's sucking the life out of that room.
Yeah, one of them, and I'm not going to name.
No, don't shame
but one
someone.
of the people looked...
MK.
No, it wasn't actually.
No.
But one of them looked really bad in that lighting. It's not because of them, it's because of... I don't know what's going on in that room, but the lighting or the makeup... Something's going wrong.
It's a hot room, so they're sweating a lot.
Yeah,
the lighting isn't right. They've messed up the lighting, so it's giving a kind of like a
It's
yellowy...
like when celebs go on the red carpet and they get like a flash photography and you can see all the powder because it's flashed. It looks like that.
Are you talking about the Circle of Shame from Heat magazine, Ben?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Glow Up.
Another BBC reality show. This isn't the BBC. What channel is this on, by the way, in Australia?
I don't know. I'm scared to Google Traitors Australia because it will come up with like the winner or something.
Me too.
So I've gone months. It came out in October and I didn't know anything.
Waiting for the BBC to broadcast it on iPlayer.
So, but yeah, that room is just not. It's not pleasant for anyone.
Well, it wasn't pleasant for MK in that room either, because MK had 16 votes and was evicted from the game. And it was a short but sweet speech. He kind of said, guys, I had a really good time. I'm not a traitor.
No, people pretended they were upset, but really they were just like...
They don't dramatically leave either after they've given the revelation like they do in the British version or the American version. Happy. They just kind of... Yeah. Well, what I mean is like there was a lot of crying in the British version. There was a lot of anger in the American version. In the Australian
there's
version...
only like $12,000 there, so they're like, I don't actually care.
That prize is... I mean,
they're going to have to do something next episode to bump it up.
12,000 Australian dollars. Even old Roger was saying, you can't even buy one of my cars with that.
One
Come
of my
on.
suits.
Yeah. my iron lung.
His suit budget for the series is where it all went on.
My iron lung is not good. Yeah, his suit. He's a sharp-looking guy, though.
Yeah, he's 50, I said.
Who does he
He's
look
50
like?
years old.
I'm looking at his picture right now. He looks like... Who's that American actor who's in Third Rock from the Sun? The kid.
I don't know. The kid.
But he's grown up now, obviously.
Oh,
That was years ago.
Roger.
Yes. He looks like Roger. He looks like Roger Corser. Or Roger Corser looks like this actor. What's his name? Oh, that's going to annoy me. Get in touch with us, Traitors Podcast. I'm not going to Google it. I'm going to let you do it for me. So MK's out. He's gone. So then they're reminded that there is another murder.
Yes, Fiona, or lovely Ethan.
I mean...
They can't get rid of Ethan, surely. He's too good on the tasks.
Well,
They'll keep him.
That's a good point. You need to keep... Well, although you're saying that, they've not done very well in the task so far.
He's
but Ethan
very
has been
active on the
very active.
tasks.
And again, I must say, I am admiring that red Adidas tracksuit. Not sponsored.
On the mall.
Not sponsored.
I mean, there is still some contestants we haven't really met or got to know yet on episode 2.
well,
I feel Kate, Cash, Matt, definitely Matt. He's literally not
we
appeared
know
at
nothing
all.
about Matt, other than we watched him eat a watermelon in this episode.
Yeah, and Paul still.
I don't think they're feeding Matt. I think they're deliberately like keeping Matt starved in like a back room somewhere. So as soon as he gets to that breakfast table, he's like, I'm very hungry, thank you.
Even I've forgotten Matt and not even read out anything about him. But
By the
I may
way-
wait until he appears on the show
By
to
the
read
way,
out about
what do you
him.
mean that they've not done anything with Doug Willis? Doug Willis stood up and said, all rise. It was the comedy moment of the week. How dare you? Paul is my favourite.
Well, the quiet one's probably going to come out next series. Alex finally got her VT moment.
She
though,
did.
didn't
She stopped laughing
got-
at Roger.
She got one little moment in the episode. So small wins for us.
I mean, it makes you think that there's more to come for them, but at the same time, I just feel like they're kind of just because they only introduced Ethan in this episode because of the him and Fee thing. So there's obviously a relationship between them. Fee said that she would fight tooth and nail to keep Ethan in the game, but obviously when it comes to murder, she doesn't have a choice in the matter. So that makes it a bit difficult. But yeah, like you, I hope they keep Ethan in because Ethan is very much other than, of course, Roger Corser, he is the eye candy of the show.
Well, he holds 2 Guinness World Records.
I was genuinely desperately wondering what you were about to say there.
What did you think I was going to say? He holds 2 what?
I don't know. What is Guinness Records?
The first is for most chest to ground burpees in 3 minutes.
Wow. I mean, that's quite a feat. Have you ever done a burpee?
Yes, they're horrible.
Why do you say it as if like...
Well, of course I've done a burpee, but they're bloody annoying.
I bet some people haven't done a burpee.
I hate them. They just annoy me because they're too much. They split them in half.
Oh, well, either
It's
do the
like-
jumping part or do the
jumping
stretching
and
leggy
going
part.
to the floor. It's just too...
Stretching leggy part.
The second one is for dragging a 2-ton vehicle 100 kilometers...
Christ.
100
You'd never present like Roger
kilometres.
Corser.
No. I could never present. In 48 hours with no sleep.
Hang on, sorry, dragging a vehicle?
Yep, 100 kilometres for 48 hours with no sleep.
That's very specific.
Well, he
By
did it.
dragging, surely a vehicle has wheels, so you're not dragging
it'll be
it,
in
you're pulling
brake.
it.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
pulling.
so you're... What, but with the brake off, with the handbrake on?
I don't know.
With the handbrake off?
It's still hard to pull
Or
it,
does
even
the
if it's got
vehicle
wheels.
have no wheels?
What if he has to go
Well, of
uphill?
course it's hard to pull, but to say drag would insinuate that you're dragging... If you're dragging... If I had the world record of dragging you across the ground, then I'd hold you by your arms and drag you.
So he probably has
Your whole
something
body.
strapped around
You'd
him
have
and he
carpet
walked and
burn.
pulled it. But what if he goes uphill and then downhill will run him over?
Or no, I tell
That's
you
be
how.
flat land.
Do you know what? I'm an expert in Guinness records. I reckon that he would have done it on a track like a
circles.
athletic field, athletic field.
He's highly competitive and a straight shooter.
Yeah, so they say. That's what Fee has told me.
He knows he'll
Straight in
have
the
to
eye.
hold his he'll have to hold his tongue so as to not get himself in trouble.
Would hold his tongue.
My game plan coming into this
Yes.
is first half, I'm going to be super likable,
He
super
is.
social, and get everyone to like me. The second half,
I'm going to be a complete and utter twat.
I'll burn them all.
Is that what he says? Burn them all.
Burn them all, even Fee. Yeah.
All right,
so-
Peggy Mitchell. Burn
saying-
it down.
Channel 10. It was on. There you go. I just found out
10.
there. Channel 10. The famous
10.
Channel 10 in Australia.
There you go. 10.
So yeah, Fee or Ethan will be murdered, or maybe the Roger will come in and say, stop.
Right now.
Chloe has dropped out of the game, so there is no murder. Because didn't that happen in the American one? And they can say, you can either pretend you murdered him, or we can announce that she left, wasn't it?
Yes,
something like that happened
vaguely
in America,
remember
didn't
that.
it? When that woman
no, actually, I don't think
COVID.
that happened. I think we said that they should have done that. I think that was us saying if we were the production, we haven't done that yet. This is this series. Still time to come. Like us telling them how to make the show. Like we've taken it. Like we've done that 4-year university degree in
better
production.
lighting in the banishment room for one,
True.
and a better makeup artist.
Better games. Games are too hard.
Well, not better games, as in more lenient.
Less convoluted. Yeah, that's
Give
it.
them
Less
45
hard.
minutes instead of 30 minutes.
But don't make it all or nothing. I thought that was a bit cruel. I think they should have given them 2,000 Australian dollars for every thing they figured out, and then 10,000 for actually completing the full task.
Well, if they listened to Chloe and got the right man to open the lock,
Chloe.
she saw it.
Chloe's the key.
But I thought episode 2 was really short and went really quick, because episode 1 was like really long.
Well, episode 1 was an hour and a half.
Yes.
Without commercials. And episode 2 is 45 minutes without commercials. And I think every episode from now on is 45 minutes.
Very quickly.
But I don't know what the finale will be. And also, I thought that there was 12 episodes to the series, but according to BBC iPlayer, it's only 11. So I'm presuming...
Probably episode 12 is a reunion, I assume.
Well, no, I'm presuming they squashed either the finale together or the first episode together.
Christ.
I'm just putting it out there.
Got 30 minutes and you're ruining the time.
Listen, my niece from my mother's side who died during the Great Plague, clearly my niece, on a train, who shouts rails, told me that that's what the BBC have done. It makes it more concise. Good old BBC, you know? They know how to make a programme.
I just don't want to speak.
But yeah, I suppose that's the... So the two up for being murdered is Ethan and Fee. And you think it's going to be Fee. I want
Chloe.
No, Chloe. No. Because
I'm allowed to predict whatever I want.
Well, no, because they said in the, what did he call it? The homicidal huddle. I love that. Look at Roger making up things. They said the traitors said that Chloe's revelation has benefited them, and she shot herself in the back, and so they're going to vote her off at the next table.
Get banished anyway.
I don't think she's going to leave. I think she was just being dramatic, and she was just trying to make everything about her, because that's Chloe. Everything's about Chloe.
Hopefully
Chloe's
Fee's
world.
killed, because Ethan has much more to give.
It certainly does. Straight shooter. Yeah.
There you go then. Episode 2 done. Oh, what are you saying now?
I'm just going to do the socials, as I always do at the end.
Yes, that's what I was leading to then.
Sorry, I always interrupt you, and I always feel mean for doing it.
Mind.
We'll argue about it when the microphones are off. So email us, faithfultothetraitors@gmail.com. Let us know if you're enjoying the Australian series. We're going to record these as we watch them, so you've got a couple of days now to get in touch with us and let us know how you're getting along. If you've already seen the full series, don't spoil anything, please.
No. And our episodes, as requested by others, they're very minimal in the description. It just says the episode and the episode name, and that's it.
The Traitors AU.
The Traitors, yes.
Maybe you should change it for the Australian series and have like the emphasis on ors. Just do OR in big capital letters. Traitors.
Well, this has been Faithful to the...
Was a traitor.
Oh, that didn't work very well.
No.
It was Faithful to the Traitors you've been listening to, and we will be back very soon for episode 3.